Hi, this is Jeremy Murphy. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm broadcasting and just wanted to welcome everyone for joining us. I am the creator of the Positivity Patrol. I'm a life coach here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and there's a topic called mindfulness that has really been taking up a lot of my thinking time. It's been kind of a tangential issue, or so I thought, and then I found that it seemed to intersect with a lot of other things. So I was hoping to address it as a topic and see if we could at least start a discussion. It's a topic I hope to revisit frequently, perhaps not weekly, but on a regular basis. I wanted to kind of unpack and unravel the special elements of mindfulness. So I would encourage any of you that might want to join this discussion to pop into a seat. And before you do that, I guess if I don't know who you are, I guess I'd like you to tell me who you are, maybe where you are in the world. That'd be a good thing for us to know. With Blab being a worldwide platform, I guess I'm curious where all of you are from. And I know I can look that up if I see who's here, but if I can't see who's here, I can't really look that up unless I just assume it's the subscribers perhaps. So a couple ground rules before we get started. If you want to join us, please make sure you have a good internet connection. Good audio is helpful also. Headphones will help us keep down interference. We've got a little bit of a breeze going here with birds periodically, and I want viewers to be able to hear that if possible. And if the dogs get too loud or get out of control, we'll have to mindfully end this broadcast and continue it at a later time. So thanks for joining us. Another rule, I want you to be on your best behavior if you're going to pop in a seat. I do not intend to allow people into the seat who intend to discuss something else or attempt to hijack this Blab. That's really not what this is about. This is about having a serious discussion about mindfulness, what it is, what it isn't, how it can help us with everyday living, and how we can more mindfully explore things that we do and just make it a part of our daily routine. So that's what I'm hoping to discuss. And if you're willing to participate in that under those rules, please feel free to pop in a seat and we'll have some healthy discussion about it. So I'm hoping to make this a substantial discussion by, making it kind of an ongoing series of shows. So I'm going to go ahead and open a seat, so don't forget to do that. The seat is now open. On your end, it should say join. If you wish to jump in a seat, please click join and let me know, and we'll talk it over. So how did I reach this point of looking for mindfulness? I'll tell you, really the issue began with me, I'm trying to remember when I started doing Tai Chi. I think it was a couple years ago. I was having periodic problems with asthma. I'm asthmatic. And so I was trying to find ways to deal with that and improve my breathing. And I ran across, there's a version of Tai Chi called Tai Chang. And this is created by Dr. Mark Chang. This actually has some affiliation with the Beachbody Company. And so I kind of started experimenting with this. We got fascinated with Tai Chi. We adopted our daughter from China in, I guess, in 2005. We were over in China. And so we saw people doing Tai Chi in the morning and seeing it as a routine. And I was just amazed at the detail and the just how slow the movement was. And we get so caught up in doing everything quickly and doing everything in a hurry and not thinking about what we're doing. And it kind of got my attention to see it in China. And then when I started trying Tai Chi on my own, I just noticed it seemed to really help my breathing and help me relax. And it's tough. I'm one of those people that are, it's tough for me to relax. So it's good to have ways to unwind and kind of expand your lung capacity. And this became very obvious. I went for a training run before a marathon once, and I think I was supposed to run 22 or 23 miles. And for some reason, I ran further than that and found myself running a full marathon in preparation for a full marathon. And I think some of the strength and lung capacity for doing that came from doing Tai Chi, or the Tai Ching, as Dr. Cheng calls it. So, kept experimenting with it and found that it was helping, relax muscles and creating a little bit of, more mental relaxation. We get tense and stressed out about things, and it was helping me unwind in that respect. But I will confess that I'm a chronic multitasker. I like to do many things at a time. I have many interests, but so sometimes I have trouble focusing. And I find that if we rely on mindfulness for having a little bit more focus, clarity, when clarity is lacking, can be very helpful. So, and there are different ways to be mindful. I guess one that I like to bring up as a possibility is music. I'm a musician, and I was reading an article recently about someone who has just written a mindfulness opera. And I've been wondering if mindfulness could be musical, and if so, to what extent, and if perhaps the music could become so complex that the music becomes too complex. I think it's hard to necessarily be mindful of it, or you get caught up in the music, and if the music isn't coherent enough, you can't focus on the music, you start focusing on other things. But it's fascinating to me to hear someone trying to actually make an opera out of it, and I'd love to hear it and watch it someday. I'm meant to have the article printed out to share with you today, and I forgot to do that. So, but I'll make a note of it. I think I shared it on Twitter for those of you that might be interested. I've somewhere in my Twitter feed. But another way to be mindful is art. And our daughter, she loves to make these origami cranes. And I'm going to show you a couple of these. She just finds these scraps of paper. Can you see that? It's in front of it. And she folds them a certain way and, just makes them into fancy cranes. There's one of them. That's a small one. Some of them are more decorative than others. She likes to, color them with markers. But this allows you to focus on an artistic pursuit that might help you concentrate better, focus on one thing, and, be able to really be able to focus on that and not be so distracted. And we get so distracted by trying to do too many things at once. Sometimes it's really difficult to focus on one thing. Here's another tiny one. You can see she did the kind of the similar marker design. There's the other one here. And some of them are a little larger. There is here's a large crane. You can see she decorated it with markers a little bit, kind of in the, I don't know if you call that kind of a modified chevron style, perhaps. But, and you can fold the wings whatever direction you want. And, that's just a really cool thing that that can be done to help you focus on one thing at once. For some, they do Zentangles. And I'm now realizing I left my Zentangles inside. So I think what I'm going to do, I am going to, this is crazy, but I'm going to pause the recording, briefly run inside, grab my Zentangles, my water. I will be right back in less than 1 minute. You can hold on. Hi, we're back on the record. I got the Zentangles and I'm going to show them to you. So what Zentangles are, they are, let me show you the spiral one. This is in Celtic lore, the number 7 was a big deal. So you can see can you see in the very middle? This is not one I made, but you can see in the very middle is swirls, 7 swirls, and probably 7 of other things too. But this kind of talks about how you do this Celtic braided technique. So I made a couple of these on a retreat, and I'll go through these just for the recording. And I know some of you just heard this, but forgot to restart the recording. So here are, let's see, do this the right way. On the upper right, you see the kind of earrings or teardrops, subject to interpretation. This one's kind of more like ravioli or apple crisp, kind of messy ravioli. That one I wasn't as proud of. Here's one that kind of looks like grapefruit or orange slices, kind of spokes of a wheel, irregular wheels. And then the one I think that turned out the best is the, I had a design, suggested design for Celtic cross. And so I did that, and you can see in the middle, I did the 7 swirls. So I think the Celtic one I showed you is kind of my rough design for this, but I deviated and didn't do the, kind of the braided technique. So, and you can see in the 4 corners, I've got maybe 3 spiders and possibly an eye in the upper right. One in the upper right kind of looks more like an eye. And the rounder ones look more like circles. Some more circular ones look like spiders, I guess is what I would say. Then you can just kind of do them freestyle. So I was running by a pond, which is on one of my running trails close to the zoo here in Lincoln, Nebraska. And there were a bunch of circular swirling things in the pond. Sorry, I'm speaking up. That's not affecting the audio. But here's there were kind of waves at the bottom, or I kind of added waves, or huge waves. I mean, it's not like it was the ocean or something like that. But, and then you can see kind of the circular swirls. You get these little swirls in water. And so I saw a bunch of those. And this is just kind of one of those visual images. You see something and you want to try to recreate it later. And see, I made kind of a couple eyes. There's a fish in here somewhere. Let's see if I can find the fish. Where'd the fish go? Are those? Maybe it's at the top. There's the fish in the center. See it? Either a fish or a shark. Maybe if you turn it upside down, it might be a shark. But actually, I know the waves are in the bottom here. So some of these are subject to interpretation. And if you twist them around, you might see something other than what you might see in a different direction. There's the fish. There's the fish going downward. So those are Zentangles. You can do those freehand or with suggested designs, and just very relaxing format. There are books where you can get these. They're available all over the place now. They're big at bookstores at Barnes & Noble. Where else have I seen them? They have them at Michael's. I don't know if you have Michael's where you are, but at least if you're in the United States and you have these things, you can do this. And let's see, we have some more suggested ones. Here's this right side up. Yes. The yin cut in the bottom. And we've got this square one here with kind of a different design. This one over here is a little bit different. So, somebody wanted to join. I'm sorry, I didn't. And he's not here anymore. Sorry about that. So anyway, what does mindfulness mean to me? What does it mean to you? For me, it's an acute awareness of what you're doing and making a conscious effort to regain that awareness. And I have a quote to remind us that that awareness can come and go. There's a there's a man named Jack Kornfield, or is it Jack Kornfield. He's I think a Buddhist monk, and I don't know. I read one of his books recently. I thought it was very powerful. But the way he put it was as follows, and this is a direct quote: "As if you were training a puppy, you will gently bring yourself back 1,000 times." And we have a heightened awareness of this with our dog that you saw. You saw her go down the stairs not too long ago. And it, you do find yourself when you're training a puppy, you have to kind of keep coming back to it, and we get distracted and start working on other things, and we kind of lose our center. And I've found that we have to create this inner space, and if we fail to create this inner space, then we lack inner peace. And if we radiate a lack of inner peace to the world, we're actually going to be reflecting something closer to chaos or confusion, lack of clarity, definitely a lack of positivity. And one thing that I have been focusing on lately is, just including more positivity. And I find that trying to have a mindfulness practice of meditating, every day, if I can remember to do that. Sometimes I forget. I try to meditate when it's quiet, find quiet places for that. I'm one of these extrovert, introvert, ambivert, omnivert people. So I need my introspective reflection time. But I'm a fairly extroverted person. I'm not, I used to be very introverted, but I have found it does allow you to, help keep your center, helps you not overreact to everything. Sometimes I find that life just needs a pause button. And if we don't find that pause button, then we tend to overreact to things and, say things that hurt others. And we don't want to do something like that if we can prevent it. So, there are mindfulness timers for meditation, which will measure, say you want to meditate for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and you can set a timer and it will tell you when you're done. Otherwise you can just start a timer on your phone or something, and, the stopwatch approach of seeing how long you've been meditating. Of course, the detached way to do it is to meditate for an unknown length of time and not care about how long that time is, but make sure that it's long enough for you to achieve some positive results in your life. I think without having this type of heightened awareness, we tend to make mistakes. It affects our relationships. We find that we're more hostile towards others. And there's just kind of this edge of destructiveness that I don't think really belongs in human relationships. So anyway, it's a very fascinating practice. I'm trying to learn more about it. I don't claim to be any sort of expert in the area, although I do seem to have some kind of proficiency for making Zentangles, and I don't fully understand that. They're probably not as artistic as some that my daughter might make. And I know her origami cranes are, very fascinating to me as a reflection of her artistic ability. And I think some of us do have artistry or talents that we're not finding and we're not developing. So, we have to look at what is that talent and how can we use it to connect with our inner self, with our very core. And I think that's what mindfulness allows us to do. It allows us to connect at a deeper level with ourselves, allowing us to connect with others at a deeper level. Hopefully improve our relationships and to have a more positive outlook. There's a calm about us that if we've been practicing mindfulness and meditation and making it a priority in our lives, there's a certain calmness that is established, and it becomes a baseline, and it affects other people. Other people notice that we're the calm amid the storm, and they rely on us for, they'll ask me, how how do you do this? How do you keep the even keel? Because I know you weren't that person before. You were, perhaps the person that would overreact to something if it upset you. But I think if we find a way to, if we get upset or get frustrated with chaos and things of that nature that affect our lives, the unexpected bad news or something like that, we have to find a way to press the pause button, to reflect and really process, is this sense of impending doom, is it a true belief? And if it's not a true belief, sometimes it is something we have to let go. And if we don't do that introspective investigation, then we don't reach a point of knowing, am I being mindful in this moment? And I've found in the past year, just the number of people that have been speaking about mindfulness and practicing meditation and telling me, being mindful of whatever, be mindful of this when you coach people or things like that. That's really starts to get your attention. So wanted to just kind of give a short overview of kind of a mindfulness 101. Do hope to revisit the topic in the future. And once again, it's like a couple more of you have joined us. This is Jeremy Murphy. I'm a life coach in Lincoln, Nebraska, in the central or Midwestern United States. I know some of you may be in a different time zone or day if you're in Asia or anywhere else in the United States. I've got a lot of people here from Europe, Australia, New Zealand. It's fascinating to see how worldwide Blab is. But look forward to connecting with more of you. And we're going to, continue this discussion for a couple more minutes. I don't know if any of you want to jump in a seat or not and talk about this. I know someone did, but I didn't click over fast enough to let him or her in. So anyway, I wanted to welcome any of you that are joining us later. If you hear my dog, that's she's been running around the backyard, so she's breathing a little heavily. So I'm going to ask, does anyone want to join in a discussion? Hop in, please. Let me know. And people have different sources for where they get good information on mindfulness, things of that nature. And I guess I mentioned the book by Jack Kornfield. I don't remember the name of the title. I would have to look that up. But if you look up Jack Kornfield at the library, he's an excellent writer on mindfulness in general, how to use it. But I find that we get baggage from the past and it burdens us. And if we don't find ways to unburden and lighten our load, then we're carrying around too much. I have a friend on Twitter, I think his name is Tim Fargo, and he talks about going through life with just one carry-on bag and to not allow more baggage than that to follow us. And that really got my attention because we can get so caught up in all the bad things that happened before, or the doom or negative things that could happen tomorrow. But if we're caught up in that, we're not living in the present. And that's been a valuable lesson to me to learn, that we have to be truly present in the here and now, because that's all we have. And if we're not, then we're losing our ability to communicate with people. We're not being really mindful of the present moment. And then 5 or 10 years from now, when time has gone too fast, we'll wonder, why didn't I take the time to focus on one thing or be mindfully present? And what does mindful presence really mean? I think it means being truly in touch with who you are, what you do, what your mission in life is, and being able to focus on one thing at a time. I think there are things we can multitask effectively. I think we can For example, if you're writing, you can be thinking about something or trying to process it in your head before you construct it. You could argue that that's two different things, but if we're in a society where everybody's on their phone and we're at dinner and we're trying to talk to our family at the same time, I mean, it doesn't work. We have to, part of mindfulness is detaching ourselves from technology long enough to discover who we are, what we're here to do, and our why. Why are we doing this? What's our motivation? Are we called to help people? Are we called to serve others? Are we called to be an artist, a musician, a coach? I coach people with, getting through life's struggles, frustrations, chaos. Also serve as a running coach. So people that are trying to take their running to the next level. But want to encourage any of you that want to continue this discussion, please follow me on Blab. I'd encourage you to follow me on Twitter at Jeremy P. Murphy, and I'll type that in here on Twitter. You may also want to visit positivitypatrol.com. That's where I'm going to be introducing a new positivity course. Let me explain. The first part of the course is going to be a free course where I'll talk about transform your life with positivity and all the different elements and what that means, and mindfulness intersects with that. It is a part of the course. After the free course, there's going to be an 8-week course that I will sell, and it deals with positivity at a deeper level. It will make you into a positivity ninja to the extent that you're able to become positive enough to stay there permanently, to lift your family and friends there, and to help anyone that you come into contact with, to learn tips, tricks, and strategies to become a positive person and really become mindfully present of what your mission in life is, why you're here, how to focus on the present, how to press the pause button, how to find outlets like running, music, writing, art. There's so many things that you could say help you be mindfully present. Sometimes it's just a matter of being. We get so caught up in becoming and who we're going to become, we forget that it's okay to just relax and to be. And I think for some of us, I used to be kind of a type A personality, if there is such a thing, more of the high-strung, worried go-getter that constantly has to be doing something. But I've learned that mindfulness is teaching yourself to kind of be a more laid-back, relaxed person, and to not deal with things in the type A fashion, in the stressed out, nervous, anxious, worried, sleepless. That just wasn't a healthy lifestyle for me. And I don't think it's a healthy lifestyle for anyone to live that way. So if you're looking to make changes and try to find ways to become a more relaxed, less stressed person, to make mindfulness part of your daily routine, I guess I'd happy to talk to you about that. And I guess I'd ask, when was the last time that you were mindfully present with your friends or family? Do you meditate on a daily basis? And if so, how do you make that part of your routine? I think you have to kind of schedule it like exercise. And sometimes it's helpful to, practice meditation right after exercise, because you're relaxed anyway. You have the endorphins helping you. And I don't know, the way I would put it is mindfulness seems to provide a different kind of endorphin. There is research showing that it does affect your brain in very positive ways. And I don't have that research with me, but it's out there and it's accessible. It's at all of our fingertips. But, it does allow you to relax, unplug. I'd encourage all of you to, something I do is to try to unplug my phone for an hour a day. And I just plug it in. I put it in airplane mode, somebody wants to reach me, surely they can wait an hour. Hopefully I don't do that at a bad time when someone has a crisis or something. I try to do it in kind of off hours. But of course, if your phone gets down to 0% battery, you've got to do something quickly. So, but unplugging from technology helps. Focusing on a type of exercise that you enjoy, whether it's walking, running, Tai Chi, martial arts. So many sports. Rowing. What other sports can we think of? Volleyball. Think of all my daughter's sports. Volleyball, running, dance. Dance is a big one. Dance is so artistic and so difficult. And I'm not really an excellent dancer, but I know several people that are, including our daughter does a kind of semi-competitive dance with her dance troupe. And they have, she's doing point and tap and ballet and hip hop and jazz. And, I can't even keep all those genres straight sometimes. But that requires a special kind of artistry to do something like that too. But I think you are able to, if you wrap yourself in some dimension of the arts that is expressive and creative, I think you do find a different level of mindfulness. If you focus on writing for an hour and just write whatever comes in your head and write it down on paper, I think you'll be surprised how much is really there. The problem is that we're not taking that time to focus on something for that length of time without being distracted by something else. So, give it a try. Try free writing. Try the Zentangles I showed you. Maybe try some music. If you do music, try to keep it something that's, not too busy. Like, for example, I like to listen to Rachmaninoff Vespers. If I listen to that, I'm immediately in some metaphysical realm. And I think mindfulness is, when we think about mindfulness, we need to remember that we're, like C.S. Lewis said, we're all souls that have a physical body. I don't believe that we're just physical bodies and nothing else. I mean, the soul or the spirit is really what drives our existence. And I believe that is divinely provided. And I think we're all divinely created for a particular purpose. And if we dare to take the time and effort to find out what that purpose is, to become mindfully present, to let go of the past, and focus on the future when we have to, but not at the level that we worry about it, I think we're able to really find greater clarity, peace, prosperity, and positivity. So I would thank all of you for joining us. This is just a preliminary discussion on mindfulness. Mindfulness is metaphysical. It's not just physical. Hi, Austin. I notice you've just popped in. You're happy to have you jump in a seat if you like. We're just going to wrap it up shortly if no one wants to join me. But, I would encourage you to really get in touch with the metaphysical. We're on a train. Oh, boy. Well, I would tell you there are free meditation things all over the place, but one site I want to mention is by Lisa Peterson has a website called wealthclinic.com, and I will throw that in the chat. She is a wealth coach, used to live in California, just moved to Hawaii. So I would encourage you. She's given me a lot of guidance and really learning more about meditation. And I guess another person I would point you to who's on Meerkat and also on Blab is David Dorian Ross. He's on Meerkat. I think he's on Periscope, but I'm not sure. I don't see him much there. I seem to see him on Meerkat or. Yes, it's true. You can do it in 30 seconds. We forget about that, don't we? I'll just type David's name in here. But David does daily meditation, mindfulness, and Tai Chi, and I've just been really impressed with his knowledge and how seriously he takes the topic. So I'd encourage you to check for him, follow him. And I think with a busy lifestyle, we do have to sometimes figure out how much time do I have to meditate. And Austin, you made a very good point about, that we can do it in 30 seconds. Sometimes we feel like we can't achieve meaningful mindfulness meditation in less than 15 minutes or less than 20 minutes. But there is an issue of quality over quantity. Now, I think over time you need to, if you're going to be serious about this, you do have to try to make sure there's some quantity. But, sometimes you might only have a minute or 5 minutes. And so that's a very good point, that we can do it in less time. We figure out how much time we have to be mindful and meditate, and then we can claim that space. And for some of us, we blend it with prayer. We might pray first and meditate after, or pray and meditate at the same time. And I realize that a lot of us would have perhaps different faith backgrounds, but I think regardless of your faith background, I think mindfulness is a very powerful habit. It's a very positive one, and I would encourage you to really focus on it. With Dr. Chang introducing me to Tai Chi, I noticed that even holding my breath for a little bit really got my attention and kind of triggered my brain to think a little more. And after breathing differently in a way that you're not used to, I think you find that you're, if you keep expanding your lungs, for example, and then you expand them 3 or 4 times beyond what you're used to, and then you exhale, wow, that's just so different from my normal routine that really got my attention. And I found that it was very relaxing to do that. So let's see, some of you might just be listening to this. So I'll tell you, Austin is helping us here. He says, only 30 seconds, just place your right palm on your heart, then close your eyes, breathe in to your nose and out your nose 30 times. Try it. You will be mindful after this. Try that, my friend. That's a great idea. I'm going to have to give that a try. That's many more consecutive breaths, and I might really be focusing on that. I tend to get up to maybe 4 or 5, and then you feel like it's time to move on to something else. And sometimes it's helpful to have guided meditation that's led by, free meditations you might find online. And give that a try. But you want to be able to experiment with this on your own and be able to kind of self-direct yourself. Sometimes it's helpful to have someone like, David Dorian Ross or Lisa Peterson or someone like that kind of showing you a little bit, telling you about it. Austin is good at this too. He's on Blab and Meerkat. Austin, I don't know if you're on Periscope or not, but I know I've seen you on Meerkat also. So, any of those 3 people would be good people to connect with and kind of take a look at their resources. And I think if we really get going on this, we'll realize this is a worldwide movement. It's catching steam. More and more people are trying to make this a part of their routine, and there's a reason for that, because mindfulness works. And if we really focus on being mindfully present, I think we can achieve more powerfully the things that we're called to do, and with less effort. And if we're able to do more with less effort, we're going to end up doing even more than we thought we were able of doing. And then you get a kind of a self-confidence momentum thing going. And boy, if you can get that going in your life, you just don't need to focus on it anymore. Yeah, Austin, you made a good point. Austin says, you'll be mindful after the 30 breath technique that he talked about. You don't need more, my friend. Just focus. You don't need anyone to show you how. You just do it. There's definitely an element of truth to that. I think a lot of us find that we're so uncomfortable with meditation if we haven't really done that. We just feel like we kind of need to see what other people are doing or how they're doing it, and then we kind of I would say we find ways to do it in our own way, in a way that works for us. And sometimes it takes trial and error and experimenting with different techniques. But it's something I'd encourage everybody listening to try to include mindfulness in your daily routine. It can accomplish seriously powerful things in your life. And, if you're at a crossroads or having some chaotic events going on, it will help you get through that and unravel it so much faster. And you will not feel like the same person. And once you make this a part of your routine, it just becomes automatic. And then you're not, you're not worried about making time for it because it's already a priority. And you've attached it to something else in your daily agenda, whether it's prayer or exercise or both, or, first thing you wake up, maybe you meditate. Last thing before you go to bed, maybe you're meditating. Maybe you're thinking about mindfulness. Maybe you clear a minute out of your schedule and just take a pause break where you're thinking about this. Or you take 5 minutes and you think about nothing. You sweep everything out of your life. And I think we all have to do this on a daily basis. We have to sweep the garbage out of our lives. And if we can't be mindfully present, we're not going to get rid of the garbage. It's just going to continue to accumulate. We have to take out the trash, get it out of our lives. And I think we almost have to do that on a daily basis. If we fail to, then we just, we miss out on a golden opportunity to reshape our lives, improve our lives with positivity, and be able to move on for a brighter tomorrow. So I want to thank all of you for joining me. I think I'm going to wrap up the recording here. Austin, I want to thank you for your contribution and for showing up. And for all of our listeners, please feel free to follow everyone that's here on Twitter and on Blab. We will continue this discussion. This is just the beginning, and I intend to do extended discussions on this issue eventually, but I want those to be in a more collaborative setting with several people in the seats. So with a little better planning, we will accomplish that. But this is just my attempt to introduce the topic, tell you a little bit about mindfulness from my perspective, and I'm interested in your perspective too. So if you can, tweet me or send me a message what you think mindfulness means to you or how you can practice it, please let me know. And for our listeners, please feel free to, leave it in the comments. People that are watching this later will return to this and maybe check what other people have said. So please leave us your impression of what mindfulness is and means. And please remember to make it a part of your routine. I really want to see everyone successful in turning their lives around and becoming the greatest extension of who they're called to be. I want you to be the best version of yourself. And if it takes daily mindfulness practice to do that, then I want you to do it. Absolutely. So have an awesome Monday. Take care. I'm going to sign off for now. This is Jeremy Murphy from Lincoln, Nebraska, life coach. This has been, thank you for joining us for mindfulness. And please feel free to follow us for future discussions of the issue. And please feel free to visit my website at positivitypatrol.com if you want to learn more about the positivity training that I talked about. So take care. Have an awesome day. Bye.